Hello Bitsfood, this is Craig from bitsbox.co.uk here, and in this video I've got a couple of weeks to try and complete a Spearhead box, and the one I've got is this one, the Hedonites of Slaanesh. Mostly just because I just like the miniatures, and I wouldn't mind doing like a full army of them eventually. And you get 20 miniatures in this box, and I'm hoping I can do that in a couple of weeks because I'm now off over the Christmas period, and even though I don't have the full 2 weeks because obviously Christmas, seeing family and everything like that and other bits and pieces that I'll be doing, I should have enough free time to hopefully get through this, and that's what this video is going to be about, and seeing if I actually manage it. So normally I film these intros sort of after I've filmed all the content, but not this time, because yeah, I have no idea if I'm going to achieve it or not. But we'll see how far I get, and yeah, maybe I'll just have little bits of footage showing off sort of how I paint them, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So, during this first little clip where I just look through the contents of the box plus the instructions, I'll just quickly go into what this video is going to be. So I'm going to be jumping in from random bits and pieces, just giving my thoughts, showing my progress, how far I've got, where roughly I am during this 2-week period. We'll be starting with the Blissbarb Archers. So some bits will be voiced over, I'll be showing you some of the painting through that, and then there'll be other bits where I jump in, which will be in the next clip in a moment. Hopefully the format's okay and you guys enjoy that. It's kind of like a little vlog thing as we go along with some painting in the middle. So yeah, vlog entry number 1. Okay, so let's talk about Blissbarb Archers, shall we? So, I mean, my original aim was to have them built last night, but it's now the next day. So it's actually, as I film this, it's Christmas Eve, and obviously tomorrow I'm not going to get any hobbying done, but my aim is just to at least get these primed today, and then after Christmas I can start painting on them. But let's talk about them, because these were awful to put together. They're really dynamic, really cool, they look great. Apparently they're a bit of a pain to paint as well, so I'm kind of glad I'm getting them out of the way first. But yeah, if you're not familiar with them, let's just look at the instructions, and you can sort of see how very interesting they are to put together. You have all these really sort of intricate sort of shaped parts. You have to just tidy them up perfectly because everything just fits together so precise. Yeah, they're a very good representation of sort of modern GW kits, although most of them aren't like this, but the way they're designed these days and how they fit together, this is probably that on the extreme. I think I got the faces mixed up on a couple of them, but they did fit just about. Very, very hard to kit bash these. I'm not going to do any kit bashing in this Spearhead, I'm just going to build it and paint it as is. But I would like to know if anyone knows of any proxies for these, or what I could maybe use to make some more in the future, because if I do expand this army, which I'd like to do, because I do really like the Hedonites of Slaanesh, I'm not doing any more of these. It's as simple as that. So if there's any sort of 3D printable proxies or any other miniatures I could use, I thought maybe even using demonettes as a base, and maybe trying to make them as archers. I don't know, or maybe some sort of elves I could use. It's just trying to get the scale right as well, because obviously these are a bit bigger than a lot of the old world stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe some cafe stuff could be quite interesting, but I don't know, it's a different kind of look, isn't it? Yeah, it's a tricky one, but if anyone has any ideas, I'd love to hear them. But yeah, I'm going to get these primed, and then we'll look into how I'm going to paint them. Okay, so I've primed this one in a light grey primer, and I'm going to start with the skin areas. Starting with Cadian Flesh Tone, and I'm going to use a thinned down Fire Slayer Flesh. This is a contrast paint. I quite like using this over the wash, as it's a bit darker And I'm going for like a sort of a darker tanned skin tone with some of these. And then I can come back in with the Cadian flesh tone. Just layer it back up. And keep the darker wash in the recesses. And then I use just a little bit of Kislev flesh. Just for like little high points like on the nose and the cheeks and stuff like that. So I'm using Croxigor Scales, which is just a beautiful, beautiful colour. I'm using that for all the hair. So they sort of have these sort of top knots, and in the box art, that's a different colour to their normal hair. So I'm just going with that here as well. And then I'm taking some Vallejo Warlord Purple, which is another one of my favourite paints, and using that on all the tabards. I'm going to take some Mornfang Brown for the bows. And I'm using Dark Sea Blue just for all the areas, and like some dark cloven and things like that. It sort of varies between all of them. Retributor Armor will be used for all the gold areas because it's just a beautiful, nice, vibrant gold colour. And you can see it's really starting to take shape now. And I just use a Vallejo Silver. This is for all the silver areas, of course. It's just a nice, bright silver. And it works really well on like the armour as well as on the arrows. For the arrows themselves, I'm just going to paint them black. Again, just using the Vallejo matte black. And I used some Morghast Bone just on the bases. And I don't know if I filmed it, but I did do a purple wash as well over some areas, such as for gold. I paint the base just with Rhinox Hide, and then use some of the Agrellan Earth. That's just all I'm going to use on these guys, and then we'll use a little tuft as well. And I'll take an Agrax wash just on this rock. I've gone way, way too heavy on this example. And for the actual hair, I'm just using a light grey, and this is Caradron Grey from Tooth and Coats. Oh, and here's the purple wash. I knew I'd done it at some point, so that goes on the purple areas and the gold areas as well. I'm surprised I didn't already do it at that stage. And then just a black wash goes on the hair and the silver. And yeah, that's that. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed that little brief rundown of the painting process here. I'll just try and get them all into shot. You think I'll be a bit more organised, but hey, it's late. It's now just gone 10 o'clock on the 29th of December. So I got a lot done on Boxing Day, watching Stranger Things, just sitting down, watching through that and getting a lot of painting done. Last couple of days, not so much, but we're here, and this is a point where I'm probably going to leave it for these miniatures. So they're a decent tabletop. This is one I've been showing you guys. And yeah, I'd like to do some highlights on the pinky purple colour, and some maybe highlights on the brown as well. If we get time at the end of this video, which I'm pretty sure there won't be, I will do that. But yeah, here's the rest of them. Oh, and also for the leader, her arm is broken off. I'll get that put back on. And I lost the hair piece. Like, I don't know if that just wasn't on the sprue when I was building it, because it's like snapped off here. I haven't been able to find it, so I might just replace that hair with something else. I'm hoping I've got a Daughters of Cain one lying around somewhere. If not, I'm not really sure. So yeah, I mean, they're to a tabletop standard, but the leader needs a little bit of work. I also done some with brown skin as well. And yeah, it's just a very basic tabletop standard. I have also built the Slaangors 1, 2, and 3. And then we've also got the HQ. I'm going to paint her exactly the same as I painted these, so I won't show that process, but I will show her off at the end. I've got about another week off. I won't have a great deal. I'll have some time tomorrow evening. And then the day after that is New Year's Eve, so I've got no chance. And hopefully I'll be in a well enough state. I don't really drink a lot, so I'll be fine. On New Year's Day, I'll have some time. Basically from New Year's Day to the Saturday. So that's like Thursday. Is that first? Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll have some time. My plan is to hopefully get these next 4 miniatures done in that time. They will be quicker to paint than these. And who knows, maybe if I can get the other ones built, then yeah, that would be probably a good aim for the end of my time off. And this video is actually going to go out probably sort of mid to late January, because we've got a sponsored video going out first, which you'll have already seen by this time, looking at some paints that we were sent, which are really cool. I filmed all the footage for that, so I need to edit that and get that out at some point, which again, by the time you watch this, that already happened, so that's cool. But yeah, so what I'll do probably now is show you the process for painting the Slaangors, and yeah, and I'll show you them off after that. So of course some colours will be the same, so I'm going to take this model colour violet red, and this is going to go on the claws. So yeah, you'll see colours such as the golds, the skins and that, all the same as in the previous step for the Blissbarb Archers. So I'll show you a few things that are different with these, and yeah, the claws are a big one here. And now I'm going to mix in some dark sea blue with this colour to get this sort of darker purple, and then I'm going to sort of paint that over like sort of half of these claws. And then I sort of try to sort of blend them in just a little bit while they're still wet. I'm not going for like a really super smooth blend here or anything like that, but just something to bring the colours together a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the Druchii Violet wash, going to go all over the claws. That'll bring them together even more. I'm also going to do it over the skin areas as well, just to give the skin just a little bit of a variation over the Blissbarb Archers. Then again, that dark sea blue works really well for a lot of the clothing. And these guys do have quite a lot sort of covering their legs as well. And you can see already that they're coming along quite nicely. Just putting down the silver here. You can see I've put some of that Warlord purple on the tabard as well, the same as the Blissbarb Archers, so everything's going to tie in quite nicely. And yeah, speaking of which, I'm going to take the Croxagore scales as well, and that can go on their sort of clothing around their faces. And I'm just taking some brown. I can't remember which brown I use now. It's not Mournfang by the looks of it. But somewhere between sort of Mournfang and Rhinox Hide. Just the base for horns. And just taking some black wash over the silver again. And then mixing some bone colour into the original brown will just work as a nice highlight for the horns. And that's pretty much all there is to these guys. Alrighty, so here we are with these 4 miniatures. So it's now the 2nd of January. And yeah, I managed to get these to this sort of tabletop standard. Sort of same level as the others. Again, watching Stranger Things, that was a finale yesterday. I'm sure a lot of you have watched it. And yeah, I'm really happy, especially if I have claws stand out. Just for a basic job. Again, there's like some highlights I could add and that, but I'll just leave them like this for now. So, I mean, back at work in a couple of days. The aim was to try and get it all done during this period, but yeah, just have as much free time as I thought I would, really. But I do have some time today, and my plan for today, really, is to build the last 5 miniatures. So the miniatures that are left are the guys on the Seekers. They are called the Slick Blade Seekers. And yeah, I'm going to get them done. Now, this video probably isn't going to go out for a week. So, whilst I might not get it all done during this period, I should hopefully get them painted by the time I want to put the video out. So what I will do is probably show you how I paint the Seekers, and then hopefully show you everything painted at the end. That is a plan. I'll try and do that within the next week, so surely I can paint 5 models in a week. And how wrong was I? Because I ended up becoming quite ill towards the end of my time off. So yeah, I will show you how I paint the Seekers at least. So I start with a coat of Evil Red from Vallejo, which is a really nice sort of purpley red colour. I really like this colour a lot. And then I take some Japanese uniform just because I've never really used it before, and obviously the sort of yellowy colour contrasts nicely with the purpley red, so I thought it could work quite well. So yeah, the sort of lower half of the Seekers are base coated in this colour. And then I'll give both colours a nice wash of Druchii Violet. It works really well in the recesses for both of these colours and ties them together just a little bit. And yeah, I really like how it looks, especially on the Japanese uniform. I think it works really well as a shadow colour. Then I take our old friend, Warlord Purple, and just dry brush that over the purple areas. Help ties it in with where we've used this colour before in the scheme, and it just works really nice as a highlight. Then just some Rhinox hide to paint the claws and the hooves as well, and all of the horns. I'm just going very simple with these, and then just mixing in like a bone colour for a highlight. I'll just run along the sharper edges of the horns and the claws, and I'll just add a little bit onto the hooves as well. I won't show you how I paint the rest of the miniatures because obviously the rider is going to be painted in exactly the same way as I painted the Blissbarb Archers. So yeah, once we just paint the tongue, the Seekers will be done, and then we'll have a look at all the miniatures at the end. And yeah, I'm just taking this nice blue colour. I think it's a blue-green by Vallejo model colour. It's really nice. And here we have all of the finished miniatures. And as I said, yeah, I got fairly ill towards the end of my couple of weeks off. Got the dreaded flu that everyone seemed to be having. That really knocked me out for about a week. And yeah, going back to work with that was fairly difficult. But we managed to do it, and I'm here now. I'm recording this voiceover bit on the 10th of January. I don't know when the video's gonna go out. Hopefully soon. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with how they turned out. For a couple of weeks, maybe like 3 weeks in total. Not bad going. They're not the most fun miniatures to paint at all. Yeah, they were a bit of a challenge for me, I suppose. Just a lot of tiny little details and that. And it's alright when you do the odd squad, but when you're doing that whole spearhead and that, just towards the end, I just really could not wait for these to get finished. I think maybe I'm going to need to paint some power armor now as a little break. But I do want to get back onto the Dark Water stuff. So I'll probably paint some of that as well. Which, again, that's quite detailed, but I did find it a bit more enjoyable to paint than these. But they do look nice, and I am happy with the final results. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. It's something a bit different. If you have, then do feel free to give it a like, and you can subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again in the next video.